up? You're watching What's Trending from South by Southwest. We are right now at the Comcast Social Media Lounge hosted by TechSet, and I've got some amazing folks here right now from the movie First Light. We've got actress Stefanie Scott and director-writer Jason Stone and producer Brian and everything. Welcome them, please.
Hi, thanks.
And your movie is premiering tonight.
It is.
Congrats.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting. Have you guys been to South by before?
I've been one other time last year.
Okay.
Yes.
And I was here with a short like 8 years ago.
Nice. And I mean, this is, you've been venturing more in the directing space because you've produced a ton of amazing movies.
Thank you.
So tell us about this movie and also your character in it.
Well, this movie started about 6 years ago. It was a kind of bizarre beginning. It started as a dream, actually. And
Literally a dream.
Literally a dream, and both figuratively and visually, yeah. And it just percolated for a while, and the idea of telling a story in the sci-fi world a little bit, but without doing something that involved like ships or creatures or anything else that most of the alien invasion genre movies have. I thought it would be interesting to just ground it in a very real space where the only thing you see are lights in the sky, which is what a lot of the accounts are that you hear about. And I thought that was a great jumping off point to start telling the story about, two teenagers trying to reconnect with each other after their relationship hits the rocks, and one of them has a close encounter.
Okay, so and then that's your character.
Yes.
So tell us more about that.
Okay, I play Alex,
Yeah.
and at the beginning of the movie, you see her. Again, it's a very grounded sci-fi. It's me and Sean. We've been old friends and kind of had a falling out, and it starts off with just their story and their relationship, and then Alex has contact with light or whatever anybody thinks it might be.
Yeah.
And it changes
everything.
I mean, yeah, I have a really hard time explaining it because I feel like I have my own idea of what happens, and I think anybody who sees it will have their own idea of
Taken over by some sort of power.
Yeah, because it's not a possession, but it is a light and it's a power, and it's I'm sure people will think it's beings, entities. I don't really know how to explain it because I think you have a different idea than I do as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of the fun of the movie. I mean, the idea was sort of nested in this thought of, 5,000 years ago, if we saw lights in the sky, early humans look up, see lights in the sky. What do they say? They'd call it angels or God or something. Mm-hmm. And then if those same lights showed up, right now, we'd look up and call them UFOs or aliens. Mm-hmm. And it's just a different language that we use to describe what is really unknown, and we haven't really figured out how to describe those things yet.
And why was it important for you to make that character who gets taken over and sees the light a female lead? Is there a decision around that? It's just, even though it's not interesting, but maybe there's.
It just felt natural. Yeah. I didn't give it much thought. It always felt like that's what it needed to be. Just, I guess, there's a purity to the feminine quality. I think that really worked with it.
Yeah.
And. I guess there's also, it also goes back to the origins of how the story came about, but there was a short film that I did that called Tender as Hellfire, which was about two brothers sort of struggling with, their parents had left and they're just struggling with day-to-day life, and that was sort of a world that I liked exploring about brothers trying to take care of things. But with First Light, it was really a story about a teenager, Sean's character, Theo, who can't be here because his plane got delayed.
Oh, no.
Which is unfortunate, but he'll be here tonight.
Thinking of you, Theo.
But it's really just about him trying to struggle to keep his family together. He's looking after his younger brother. He's looking after his grandmother, who's actually supposed to be looking after him, but she got sick. So this idea of him trying to struggle with keeping his life together and realizing that there might be something even bigger out there that could look out for him, which is
definitely. And what was it like, being a character that has crazy powers?
It was the power part was really cool. I mean, just to film it, just technically, it was awesome. But I think that what was cooler about it was I don't know. I have a really hard time talking about it because also we filmed it a year ago, and
that's like forever in your age time.
Yeah.
A year ago is like 10 years.
No, but I think the coolest part was going back and forth between having fun with Theodore before the the incident happens, and then afterwards she can't really remember anything, and she doesn't know anything, but she has this inner knowing that I think guides them wherever they go. And I realize how that sounds airy-fairy when I say it out loud. It makes more sense when you see it, I guess. And
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But then again, anybody can just understand it with what they want to understand.
Yeah, right.
But like how you want to understand it, how anybody wants to understand a different religion or anything.
Exactly.
Their own guidance.
So talk to us about the special effects and how that played in the movie, and what that was like for you as an actress.
Well, what was so great about it is, besides the lights and things, which were obviously different types of effects, but I know there's a really cool car stunt and stuff like that. All of that was done there, and we only had one chance to do it because it had took forever to set up.
Where's there?
There?
There was Ontario, Canada.
Oh, yeah, I'm Canadian.
Are you?
Yes,
So am I.
Montreal.
Oh, there you go. So is Theodore.
That's where Theodore is right now.
He's stuck in Montreal.
Oh, good to know. Anyway, so that's cool. So yeah, talk to us about bringing in a lot of the special effects for this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the things that the films that I grew up on, and the stuff that really connects to me is the stuff that feels as real as possible, which is also why the whole movie, I tried to make it as grounded as possible. The relationships and the visual effects sort of stem from that. And I think grounding it as much as possible, I think another film that was here, The Battle Angel, they also spoke about this, and it definitely resonates where, you try to build as much of a world around your actors that they can respond to, because putting them just on green screen or blue screen, their imaginations are great, but you want something to play against. And also, I think just visually, as good as computer graphics are, all they're trying to do is simulate the mess of the real world. And if you can do it in reality, you get the dust and the grime and the rust and all of these different things that trick the eye into believing it to be real. So what I try to do when I do visual effects is do everything you can real, and then just augment it and knock it into the next level and accentuate it.
Why is this an important movie for you, since you wrote it, directed it, did it all?
For me?
Yeah.
I mean, it has everything that I've tried to make, that I've ever tried to put into a movie. It has this adventure, the romance, the humor, hopefully, and the science fiction. I think it's just a story that hopefully feels like a very relatable, grounded exploration of what it would be to be young and have something extraordinary happen.
Yeah, and this movie is all about transformation. So were you able to transform through doing this movie, or how did it impact you?
This movie impacted me a ton. It was such a... Alex went through such a change in the movie, and I feel like from the beginning, I really found my center through it as well, because she had to be in such a meditative state, and if you see it, you understand, not really scared ever, or no knee-jerk reactions to anything. There's just this sense of knowing. So before everything, I kind of took a moment to really be as present as possible, and I think I've carried that with me to every other project that I've done since.
Wow, look at that. You're like, hey, credit.
No, this movie really does mean a lot, though. I became a part of it when I was 17, and we ended up filming it when I was 19 and a half.
Oh, wow. So you came on board really early, yeah.
First one?
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot.
You were the first cast,
yeah.
She was the first. Yeah, she was the first person we looked at, and Theodore was the last.
Yeah.
No way. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm assuming this resonated in a very big way for you. The movie resonated in a very big way for you.
Yes.
So you wanted to be in it right from the beginning.
Oh my God, yeah. When I first read it and I met with him, I wanted to be in it so bad, and it kept getting put on pause, and I didn't have it for a long time, but it was always in the back of my head, and I always imagined doing it for some reason, and I just can't believe that I can believe it, we actually did it, and it turned into something much more magnificent than it was when I first even read it, which was a lot to say, because it impacted me a lot when I first read it as well.
Yeah, and what message do you think, or what takeaway can other young women take from it?
What can other young women... I mean, it's hard for me to tell. I think it's something that you'll just watch and then you'll take away something from it. I can't really tell a young woman to take something away from it. That's wherever you are in your life, and I hope that you find something that you need in it, whether it's fun or whether it's... knowing that there is something around you at all times, if that's what you get from it. It really just depends where you are in your life and what you see, what you believe.
Yeah, and do you believe in, aliens, extraterrestrials, all that?
I love reading about it. I'm so fascinated, and I find comfort in not being alone.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the close encounter of my own that's real. But it's nice to believe in something. It's nice to hope that there is something else out there, whether it's a faith in a spiritual or religious faith, or something that's from another world. I think it all sort of culminates in the same idea of hope and believing that there's something greater than yourself out there.
Cool. Well, I love this. What an interesting conversation. I didn't even know we were going to have because there's something deeper there. So I think it's really interesting.
Well, I hope you guys see it
in
the film.
See it at South by Southwest. Will it be out anywhere else? Any other announcements?
This is the first. I mean, we just finished, so we're seeing how it goes tonight, and hopefully,
Awesome. Congratulations on your premiere. First Light, check it out if you're here at South by.
Thank you.
And otherwise, I'm sure more news to come in the future. Give it over to Stefanie Scott and Jason Stone,
Thank
everyone.
You.
Thanks.
And thanks to you guys online for tuning in live. We appreciate you. Remember to share this video with your friends and give it some love. Also, post with the hashtag Comcast South by Southwest so we can check out your posts and give it some love. We will be back tomorrow with more from South by Southwest at the Comcast Social Media Lounge with some huge people. You can go to whatstrending.com to find that full list of talent stopping by. I'm Cheryl Lazar. See you soon. Bye.